Welcome to the Game Enthusiast Guide, the series where I provide an introductory guide to games because you can't be bothered to figure it out on your own, because like me, you're a casual player, and that can be a problem. Today's guide, Far Cry 5, the game that apparently sparked so much controversy upon its announcement that if things had really gotten out of hand, the US would have seen widespread riots from conservative Americans that would have given that time fans lost their shit over the Lakers winning a run for their money. Luckily, that wasn't the case, and Far Cry 5 went on to be one of Ubisoft's best-selling games to date and effectively put those closed-minded punks in their place. Hopefully. I'd go over the premise, but come on. This is a Far Cry game. Aside from Far Cry 3, the plots never really matter because the gist of each experience is kill bad guys, kill animals, blow shit up, and overall do all the fun shit you can't in other open-world games. All humor aside, I actually kind of like the stories in these games. Don't judge me. So this game isn't really new outside of all the new shit it's clearly doing to make it different from previous installments and giving players something fresh and familiar. Like fishing! Finally, an activity I can't be bothered to do in real life. I can just engage myself from the comfort of my beanbag chair because being an introvert rules. At least until a predator shows up. Holy shit! But I understand for many of you this may be your first time playing a Far Cry game, so here's an introductory guide to turn you into a sociopathic, cultist-killing maniac in no time. Throw out everything you know about Far Cry. This game is so surprisingly different from previous installments, it's almost as if you're playing a completely different game where you're a gun-toting mass murderer running through the wilderness. Wait. Doesn't that game already exist? But at the same time, do remember at least the core essentials from Far Cry 4 and Far Cry Primal, at least from a gameplay standpoint. Core gameplay is like 4 with some added tweaks, and Primal, well, you get melee weapons and contain animals. So put them together and you get 5. When you finally complete the tutorial portion and set out to liberate one of the 3 regions in Hope County, you can either free the core location or do a few missions on top of that, but nothing more, okay kids? Why? Well, I highly recommend that once you reach that point, you invest at least a few hours building your character up by completing challenges to get perk points for new skills, or getting as much cash as you can to purchase weapons and upgrades for them. This can be done by looting stuff, completing smaller side activities, or selling animal pelts. Dead presidents are the difference between life and death, so get those fat stacks and slap a suppressor on that rifle already, you nerd. So if it wasn't obvious, this is an open world game, so explore and find stuff to do. That's half the fun. Not sure why I had to tell you this. Moving on. Take everything that isn't nailed to the floor and direct some attention to using perk points to expand your inventory so you can carry more stuff. Everything has value, and given the circumstances of the narrative, looting isn't a crime so long as it's beneficial to your pursuit of freeing Hope County. Crafting is very different this time, but still essential. For those unfamiliar, in previous games, hunting was key to gameplay as you needed to use animal pelts to craft holsters and pouches to carry all your stuff. Straightforward, right? Because nothing says you're an experienced killer better than a pouch made from bearskin that can carry a tad more LMG ammo. Look at me! Do I look like a hardened survivor now? You could also harvest plant leaves to make syringes that restored health or provided temporary effects to make scenarios easier. There's a drug joke in there somewhere. Use your imaginations. But that isn't the case here anymore. Crafting is now entirely focused on throwable and consumable items such as explosives and temporary buffs. Personally, I believe you can never have enough dynamite, so always having the right components on hand when you sadly run out will ensure the DIY fireworks display never ends. Sometimes the best action is none at all, especially in the early hours. Yes, you'll be tempted to fight every mean son-of-a-bitch cultist in your crosshairs, but it's not worth it, idiot. You may have some skill, but not nearly enough to take on an army, so save yourself the pain and
just keep your eyes down and keep walking.
At least until you have some perks and upgraded guns on you. Progression story-wise is a little confusing, I suppose. It certainly had me scratching my head, and not because I'm an idiot. It's probably retribution for all the civilians I accidentally ran over with my car. Missions are logged in your journal, with story ones using this icon specifically, so if it appears you've done them all, just check the map for that icon. Chances are you'll have to talk to a character to get the specifics, and you can be on your way. There, I just saved you 3 hours. Also complete Guns for Hire missions. They're not crucial to progression or the plot, but at the same time are, so do them. And like story missions, offer a great deal of resistance points so you can get perk points faster. Plus, you'll get new allies who can fight alongside you, leading me to my next point. There's a larger focus on allies in this game. You are no longer a one-man army who can take on the entire opposing force single-handed. Well, you can, it's just not as easy this time. This is where the many residents of Hope County will have your back if you scratch theirs. If you come across citizens in danger, and you definitely will, be sure to take a moment to help them out. Not only can you recruit them to fight directly by your side, but they'll also tell you about side activities, which is ultimately all they're good for, because they're as useful in combat as that one person who claims to know a thing or two about fighting, but really doesn't. So, this is where specialists come in, allies who love killing as much as you do. Aside from being 10 times more useful in a fight, they have certain weapons and abilities that make each of them unique but fit excellently into certain playstyles. Example, Just Black and Boomer are amazing for stealth, while Herc and Nick Rye are perfect for loud and proud. And once you get the perk that allows you to have 2 specialists with you at once, well, Eansgate might as well get the hell out of town now.
You're fucking dead!
Good doggy! Nice doggy! Help! Where's that dog?
Fucking dead!
So be sure to rally them to your cause fast and make the fun more chaotic. Just don't let them take all the action. You're still the protagonist, by the way. Look for prepper stashes. Now that radio towers no longer exist, this is your only way to get free shit, but there's a catch. You'll need to solve a small environmental puzzle to get in, so use your noodle to figure it out, and you'll be reasonably rewarded for your efforts. There's no joke here, so I'm moving on. If you do become a bit tired of all the excessive murder and destruction of all calibers, you can always engage in some relaxing activities, like fishing, going for a more casual drive while listening to peaceful music, hiking through the woods, a plane ride, kicking back with a friend, or playing fetch with Boomer. Oh my god, not Boomer! And that's the guide. Hopefully with these tips, your journey as a thrill seeker with an unsatisfied bloodlust should be a whole lot smoother. Thanks for watching, and happy casual gaming.